decided to donate $20 to the American Cancer Society. One of my really close friends, her mom was diagnosed with brain cancer. She had a tumor in her brain and she had to go to a doctor in Texas to get it removed. This was really hard for my friend to go through and to watch her have to go through and watch her whole family. It just made me feel like something I could do was donate money to not just her but the society. This made me feel very aware of what cancer can really do to a family.
I donated $30 to the Bone Marrow and Cancer Foundation. My grandpa had bone marrow cancer and he sadly passed away because of it. And I know how other families would feel about one of their relatives in the hospital because of this and how they feel, and it's just so horrible. So I feel like even though this is a small amount of money, the small amounts can lead up to be a big amount. This made me feel like my grandpa will be proud of me because of this.
I decided to donate to the SPCA. I went to the pet store and I bought treats and toys, and then I donated those along with $20 extra. I chose to do this because I have my own dog and I would never want him to be mistreated, so I wouldn't want to let any other dogs be treated that way. After I donated, I went and looked at the dogs and cats, and it was really special seeing all the different things that my money was actually going to, and seeing how actually what it was affecting.
I decided I wanted to help a local women's shelter by donating some products to help them. They had a list online of different products that they needed, including Ziploc bags and Lysol wipes. So I decided to donate those and then some pads and tampons. I know that a lot of women in those shelters need a lot of help and they don't get the resources that they need all the time. This made me feel really happy because I know that I'm able to help someone even if it's something as simple as a can of Lysol wipes. And I think it's really nice to do something just to help them out.
My mom and I went to Michael's, got Christmas decorations, and decorated my neighbor's house. We did this because a tree fell on their house last year and it's just getting repaired now, and their son died a few months ago. And therefore, because of all of this, they had to spend Christmas in an apartment with their dog, which is not how anyone's holiday should go. It made me feel like a little beacon of hope because they probably feel like nothing's going to happen to them and nothing good's ever going to come out of this, and they're just going to pull into the driveway and they're going to see a wreath, and Christmas tree and lights, and hopefully that will mean to the world to them.
I decided to use my $20 to go to the grocery store and buy food and baking supplies, to buy snacks, and to make food and dessert for one of our close family friends because their family's been going through a lot right now. The parents, one of them has cancer and the other one had a bunch of heart procedures and more surgeries to come. I can't imagine how many hospital bills they have to pay and how they're taking care of their kids. I've known them since I was little and they've done so much for me, and I thought it'd be a nice way to give back, just to lift a little piece of responsibility off their shoulders. It made me feel really great to see them smile even when they're going through really hard times.
My great uncle has diabetes and as a result has lost his leg. And to help with him around the house, he has what he calls the yard boys. As the name would suggest, they help him out. They help shovel the driveway when it gets icy. They help keep the backyard clean, make sure that the trees in his backyard are, and making sure that everything's okay. One of these yard boys is named Sean. Sean is a 49-year-old man who's divorced and has a kid. He has no car. He's struggling to afford to pay for everything with his son and support himself, and it goes so far that he walks everywhere that he goes, or he takes the bus. And one of the times that he walked over to my great uncle's house, he came so close to getting hit by a car that he said he felt the car brush past him. So once I heard that, I felt like I had to do something to help, and I told him about the $20 challenge and I gave him the money. And he said it was kind of a coincidence that last year now his sister died, and so it felt like fate that this would happen. I felt great about the fact that I was able to help someone so involved with my family and that has done so much for my family yet has so little themselves.
I was able to buy the ingredients to make a large pot of soup that I would give to a homeless shelter and help serve it to the homeless. I had heard about this church that was doing this event where they have the ingredients for a soup that you make and then they serve it to the people and you can help to volunteer there. I also have always felt really bad for homeless people. I know that a lot of them often didn't do anything wrong to end up in their situation, and I know that it's extremely hard to get out of homelessness, and I really just wanted to meet some of the people with first-hand experiences to get to know their stories a little better.
To purchase the ingredients to make Big ziti for St. Anthony's Church. They take all of the food they receive and they drive it into Philadelphia and they give it to a homeless shelter called Aid for Friends, and they give it to St. John's Hospice. I wanted to be able to help a lot of people, and I was able to do that with this because I made enough Big ziti that it should be able to give a meal to probably about 4 families. It made me feel really good to be able to help people and, feed people and get to provide them with a meal, and especially because it's people who really needed it. A lot of them, it may not be their fault that they're in the situation that they're in.
So we decided to donate to my aunt's organization called Lunches from the Heart. It's where you make homemade lunches and then you go to places and you just kind of hand them out to people who look like they need it, or just you think could maybe, could make their day better.
We wanted to help people that are less fortunate than us, and not only that, but help people just to help them.
A lot of people who we gave it to said that they didn't need it, that other people could use it more than them, which was really nice because
they're so thankful for the little things they have.
I bought pizza for a clinic for recovering addicts using $20 of Miss Ulmer's money and $20 of my own money, and the clinic is called Teen Challenge. And the reason I chose to do this was because my mom actually works as a counselor for Teen Challenge, so I went to Little Caesars that day and bought some pizzas and went with my mom to work and just offered my pizza dinner. I also bought 2 huge sodas for them, and it felt really good to do it. People were coming up to me really happy and saying thank you. It really did make a difference, and that made me happy. I also have empathy for the recovering addicts because I can realize how hard it must be.
My family and I went to Philadelphia. We were walking around and my mom pointed out she heard some music, and we looked over and there was a little band, a little marching band that consisted of four men and a little boy, and he had drums and he was jumping all around with them, and then he puts on the drums and did dances on the ground, and everywhere was a crowd around. They're all cheering. One guy, he had a sign and it said put down the guns, pick up the drums. There's been a lot of shootings, and obviously shootings in the Philadelphia area more so, or certain parts of it, so they were promoting against that, and I thought that was really cool to see. We figured out that they were also raising money for music and arts in the schools, because in a lot of areas they have to cut the budgets and don't have enough money to really bring out music and arts. For a lot of kids, that's what they rely on, or their passion is, and I think it's crucial for a kid to have that. Academics are super important, but also to have that creativity. I had a little bucket. When I was dropping it in, the kid, he looked at me and his eyes widened, and I wasn't expecting much of a reaction. They probably weren't expecting that much from one person, and I just feel really happy that I can support that in the schools and help those kids really just get that
joy out of school. Take the $20 and go to the grocery store and buy $20 worth of things that I could bake. So like I got muffins, brownies, cookies, baked them all and put them in bags and then boxes with like little notes and things to say like Happy New Year's, like here's some treats. And we sent them to my mom's sister who lives in a group home up in Boston with people who have special needs and like mental disabilities. I knew that like it would just make her so happy because that's just how she is. She gets happy over like little things like this. It made me feel really good to be able to send her things and know that she'd be able to share them with her friends.
I decided to buy a Wawa gift card with it. I went to a nearby hospital and gave it to a new dad in the NICU. My baby cousin was born at preemie and it was really hard on my family. This led me to want to help out another preemie family. I decided I wanted to do mine on Christmas Eve to make it even more special. When my mom and I got to the hospital, we went straight to the NICU and waited for a new dad to come out. Finally, when someone came out, I got up and gave the gift card to him along with a card explaining what the project was for and said Merry Christmas. He was very surprised and was definitely not expecting it at all. He said, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." As I walked away, I looked back and saw him reading the card. He looked very thankful and still surprised that it even happened. As I left the hospital, I realized how many people were in there and that they weren't going to be able to spend the holidays with their family. This made me very sad and made me want to help out at hospitals during the holidays in the future.
I decided to go to lunch and give the lunch lady that runs the snack stand my $20, and I told her to pay for all the people behind me until the money runs out, and her reaction was priceless and I was just so in love with how it turned out. People were saying that they felt really, loved and cared about, and that just made me feel really good. Some of the reactions that I got from people were that they were really confused but really happy and wanted to pass this on to other people, and that made me feel really good because it made me feel like I really started something. People were saying that they felt so happy and that it made their day, and the lunch lady was even laughing hysterically, and it was just such a good experience for me and the people around me, the whole lunchroom.
I used my money to buy lunch for the Horsham Police Department. Me and my mom picked up salad, meatball sandwiches, and rolls for them, and we went to Giant to buy silverware, plates, Parmesan cheese, and dessert for the police officers too. I wrote a card for them explaining to them that I was very thankful for everything that they do to help our community out. And obviously it did go over $20, but obviously again it was worth it. I think we need to show more appreciation for people who sacrifice their lives to keep us safe. We need to thank them for everything that they do. It felt nice to do something good and to think about others just instead of myself. And the policeman seemed so grateful for what me and my mom did. Also, at the pizza place me and my mom picked the food up from, they were so generous to give us a discount because they were aware that we were buying the food as a good deed. And it's heartwarming to know that people do really care these days.
We decided to all put our money together and make a care package, and send it to one of my sister's friends who also graduated from HH overseas in Afghanistan.
Yeah, we thought that it was really important for them to kind of get all this stuff because they really need it, and we asked them specifically what they need and we got it for them.
We went to Walmart to get all the stuff, and we got them necessities and all that, but we also got them stuff that you wouldn't really think about getting them, like snacks and stuff.
Yeah, and also wipes and stuff that
really matters to them when they send you care packages, because it makes them notice that what they're actually doing is getting thanked and noticed.
They need to know that people over here still care about what they do and how they're protecting us.
It's important to consider that these people a lot of times have good lives. They're not really struggling that much, and they still go and sacrifice it for people who don't have good lives. So I think it's important to support that.
I got 4 $5 gift cards to the dollar store, and I got a pack of thank you cards. This went to homeless veterans, so the gift cards, they can get at least 5 items that are essential to them. And the thank you cards I wrote, thank you for what you did, you were so brave, and it's really amazing that you fought for strangers. Keep your head held high. I'm so proud of you. You're not forgotten. Remember, you are never going to be forgotten. I felt like it was really important to do something like that. I know I made at least a small difference. I also feel kind of bad that they're in a situation where I have to do this in the first place. You know, it's not a Disney movie. I can't just snap my fingers and be like, hey, alright, so homelessness for all veterans ends. If I had that power, I would do it for everybody.
Overall, I learned not to judge someone by their cover, I guess you could say.
Even if you don't know what someone's going through, you should still try to help them out and give them what they need to be supported.
Just doing a little thing, or just taking a little time out of your day to do something special for other people, it can really make a difference.
It really showed me that there's more going on in people than you realize.
You don't know what people are going through, because on the outside they might be, dressed all nice and happy, but they might be going through something really hard, and a simple action can make someone's day better.
Even a small amount of money can make a big difference, and that you should be nice to everyone and everything, no matter what, because you don't know what's going on inside their lives.
It's important to help out people all the time, whether it's giving a simple compliment or even a gift card like we did, because it can have a large impact on the person giving it and the person receiving it.
Helping people, no matter how much or how little, it's always really good, and that it's really nice to be able to help people, and it matters a lot.
Even though it's only $20 to so many people who have cancer, $20 can just make that little difference. Make my friend's mom feel special, make her, just warm her heart, to make her feel like a lot of people, and know that a lot of people care about her.
Despite what anyone's going through, even a little bit of kindness can change their day or their life, and that means everything.
It doesn't take much to make a difference in the world. Even a little bit of kindness will go a long way.
You will never regret bringing a smile to someone's face. Be grateful for the life that you have, because you could always be in worse circumstances. We need more love in the world, because one good deed can really make a difference.
The experience and the moments that you make from doing something good is just worth so much more than buying a new pair of clothes or shoes. And I think that's really important, because it helps you to grow into a better person.
Even something so small can make such a big difference in people's lives and make their day, and it can carry on into something bigger. And I just am really glad that I did this, and it just made me want to keep doing things similar and doing more acts of kindness. And I hope that I will get to do things like this in the future, and so will you.